I want to create a bunch of certificates for some students. I'm going to use a mail merge to create many certificates from a single template. Here's my database. I've got a table of students who are going to get certificates. And I've also got a table of tutor groups, but I'm not going to use that to begin with. We'll come back to that later. I've got my database set up, so I don't need it open. Close that. Here's my document, my awesome student acknowledgement certificate, which I've started, which I've saved in the same folder. And it says this is to certify that in here I want to put a space. Your name goes here, is an awesome student. So I am going to start by going to the mailings tab, and I like to go to the select recipients button and use an existing list, which always takes you to the wrong place. So you have to go find your database. So I put it into this folder here. It then asks you which of the tables or queries you want to get the data from. I'm going to use my students table. And nothing seems to have changed, but now I have extra buttons in this, but you see where I've positioned my cursor. I'm going to put a space there. I'm going to insert merge field, and I can specify which of the fields in that table I want to include, and I'm going to include first name, and then I shall check that it worked by clicking preview results. Elizabeth is an awesome student. Back out, insert a different merge field, last name. Did that work? Yeah, it did. And close and preview. Elizabeth Bender is an awesome student. And this is just stuff that I can format the same as anything else. So for instance, it might be that I want that to stand out, so I can just bold preview results, and I can work here just as easily. And so that's set everything up, and now I can click through them. Lydia Bender, Charles Benko, etc., etc., etc. What I then will need to do once I've set this all up is actually create the multiple certificates. I don't want to have to click preview results and then print each one out in turn. So what I do under those circumstances is I finish and merge. And you'll always want to edit individual documents, because this creates the actual document which you can then work with. I have a couple of thousand students in this database. I'm not going to merge all. I'm going to merge from 1 to 10, just a random sample. And I have created a new document. Now this document is not like the other one. There's no preview or anything like that. Indeed, what I have is multiple pages. Lydia Bender, Charles Benko, Ashley Benson, etc., etc. So this is the document that you'll hand in, I guess, to show that you actually managed to successfully complete a mail merge. It's basically pretty much all you need to know. I'm going to add an extra detail now, which is about pulling from multiple tables, which you can kind of guess anyway. I'll close that. I don't want to save that one. And I'm going to go back to my database now. And I would like to include the tutor groups. I've got the students, open, yep, and I've got the tutor groups. But the tutor groups have been done as a lookup. So I've got, for example, Rebecca Aarons is in tutor group number 37, and then I can look that up and say tutor group number 37, she's in Mrs. Winchester's tutor group. But I'd like that to be in my document. So in this document, I'd like to say Lydia Bender, whatever tutor group. But I can't have two separate data sources. I need to have one data source. So I'm going to make a query, obviously. You knew that. Create query design. Yep. And from table students and table tutor groups. Looks like I haven't set up my relationship in my database tools. That's bad. Never mind. I'm just going to do it right here anyway. So that's set up a relationship that will work. I'm going to include all the fields. The amount of times that I do this, I don't include all the fields and then I regret. not including all the fields. Let's check what that looks like. Yeah, so I've got all of these people with their tutor groups now. Looks pretty good to me. I'm going to save that as QRY students with tutor groups. I'll do. Now if I go back to my document and I go select recipients, and I'm going to basically change always the same place, always the wrong place. I'm going to change from the table, that was the wrong one, wasn't it? Try that again. So select recipients, use an existing list. I just used the wrong database there. And Mailmage demo. And I can now select the query rather than the table. So it's actually picked up the same merge fields, which is good because they're named the same, because actually it's just doing a direct map between the name here and the name in the field in the database. But now right here I can insert the tutor, I think that one does it. And let's just check preview results. Yeah, remember to put spaces and stuff like that. Pretty straightforward really.